What's up, guys? Tanner here with Fight for Football. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Let me adjust this microphone. Hopefully the delay on the mic and the sound, the lips and everything is okay. I'm trying to get that fixed a little bit for you guys. Changing up the setup a lot and the thumbnails and everything. But I just want to talk to you guys about Alvin Kamara. He wants to finish his career in New Orleans. The interest is real in trade inquiries. Lots of teams are calling the Saints wanting to trade for vested veterans that they have. Alvin Kamara has been the talks in several years now about trades. Several teams have called years prior wanting to trade for Kamara, but he has also requested to not be traded. He has talked to the New Orleans front offices and requested to not be traded. He's stated multiple times he wants to finish his career in New Orleans. And why wouldn't he? He's had his best years of football in New Orleans. He's performed, he's a five-time Pro Bowler, been performing phenomenally in New Orleans. He does not want to be traded, but the interest is real. Can we just take a minute to appreciate what Alvin Kamara has provided to the New Orleans Saints? Played at Tennessee, he was really good there, but I don't think anyone ever thought he was going to have the career he's had so far. If we just go over here to the desktop, we're going to look at his Pro Football Reference and just his stats, just looking at his stats, not just his on-field play, but his stats. Came into the league in 2017, age 22, immediately had a Pro Bowl season, AP second team, and then Offensive Rookie of the Year. I want to say he was the offensive. Yeah, he had to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then you got, 5 years in a row? He made the Pro Bowl. His first 5 years in the league, he made the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl's not really an accomplishment anymore. The Pro Bowl's kind of really silly. But it does speak volumes to how much a player is appreciated. If that makes any sense at all. It's safe to say he was very appreciated his first 5 years. At least his first 5 years in the league. Just by, not the players, but the fans. Because I think the fans are the ones that do the Pro Bowl voting. All right, so it's safe to say he's also not missed many games. I think the most games he's ever missed was probably here in... Yeah, it's tied for 13 game appearances. So, and he still made the Pro Bowl that year when he missed 7 games. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. That helps. Yeah, it's definitely better for you guys to see. It's just crazy what he has put up. The trade interest is real, but he has decided ultimately, it's not the player's decision, but it's respectful when a player goes, hey, guys, I don't want to be traded. I want to finish my career here. He's entering his age 30 season. He signed a 2-year extension, I think, in last year. So he's under contract through next season. He'll be a free agent after the 2026 season, I believe. But, he'll probably just hang it up after that. And there's nothing to be ashamed of at all. His rookie year, he averaged 6.1 yards per carry or attempt, however you want to put that. Averaged 45 rushing yards per game. And that was only in 3 starts. Logged 8 touchdowns. I mean, the dude was a stud. Immediately was a stud. I forget who. I think it was Mark Ingram. He split carries his first couple years, actually, with Mark Ingram. Who was also still playing a really high level with given his age when he finally retired. But you can look at his yards. He's never actually had a 1,000 yard season, which is crazy to think. He's never rushed for over 1,000 yards. But if you look at his production as a receiving running back, 100 catches, 105. I'm sorry. That's targets. Okay, that's targets. Oh, okay. 81 catches, 81 catches, 81 catches, 83 catches, 47, 57, 75. 68, 17 already through 5 games in the 2025 NFL season. Crazy, dude. He's put up 800 yards, 700 yards, over 500 yards. He's never recorded less than 439 yards receiving in his. From a fantasy value standpoint, insane. This is the guy you want to draft. And every year, guys are saying, this is the year he'll dip off. This is the year he'll dip off. But truthfully, I mean, if you look at the seasons he's had, sure, he's had dips and declines, but it's still a solid performance for any running back, especially in fantasy. He's finished as a top 10 running back, I think, every single season. And just looking at everything he's done, he's had over 1,200 yards scrimmage every single year, except for 2023. He had 1,160 yards from scrimmage, and averaged 4.5 yards per touch. The lowest of his career so far is this year. He's averaging 4 yards per touch. But the lowest before that was 2023, when only time he's ever recorded less than 1,200 yards from scrimmage. He only averaged 4.5 yards per touch, which is stupid to say. Like, stupid to say. 4.5 yards per carry is always good. 4.5 yards per touch is always good for any running back. But to say that's his worst season, insane. 695 rushing yards that season. He bounced back in 2024 with 950 rushing yards, the highest of his career. At 29 years old, you guys, he posted the highest, the most amount of rushing yards in his career was last year, 2024. And he averaged 4.2 yards per attempt, toted it 228 times. Not a career high, but the second career high. And recorded 6 rushing touchdowns and also caught how many touchdowns? 2. So as far as receiving goes, yeah, it was a down year. He hasn't had a 700-yard receiving season since 2020, which is still ridiculous to say. My running back hasn't caught for over 900 yards. Like, that's nothing to complain about. The fact that, like, he's been so good and so stellar his entire career. Being like, yeah, my running back has not had more than 500 yards receiving in a couple years. Like, it's just crazy, man. The Saints have been blessed with Alvin Kamara. He's been terrific, and the trade value is there. If the Saints were smart, they would don't get me wrong. If the Saints were smart, they'd probably keep him because he's that good. But they'd also be smart to move on while he still has a pretty good trade value. The Saints have Spencer Rattler now. They've still kind of had an open quarterback competition. Spencer Rattler's been the guy who's been starting, but every single year since like 2022, I want to say, the Saints have been receiving trade inquiries for Alvin Kamara. But now that he's finally 31 years old, next year he'll be entering age 31, 32 season. It would only make sense to trade, move on. Kendre Miller, I really like that running back, the backup there in New Orleans. But Alvin Kamara has also been a franchise player. He is the definition of a franchise player. And it would be disrespectful to like move on from him. It'd be disrespectful to trade him. But I feel like you'd also understand, because you could probably still get second, third round pick for him. That may be too high of a pick, but I've seen crazier things happen. But just so you guys know that I am telling the truth, I mean, this was reported by Ian Rappaport, NFL insider for NFL Network. Saints running back Alvin Kamara has been the subject of trade talks, but his stance was made clear. He doesn't want to go anywhere. Like I said, it's not ultimately up to the player whether he's traded or not. Even though guys request trades, guys request not to be traded. It's up to the front office to do that, to make that decision. But it's just, I mean, like, he's been that franchise player. If we click this link, you'll see the report. We can go over it. New Orleans Saints are off to a 1-4 start on the season ahead of Sunday's game against the Patriots. Have been subject of trade calls with the November 4th deadline less than a month away. Several veterans have been the focus for teams, including 5-time Pro Bowl running back Alvin Kamara. Well, New Orleans will continue to get calls, and time will tell how receptive they are of trading starters. Kamara isn't expected to go anywhere. Sources say Kamara told Saints general manager Mickey Loomis that he'd like to remain with the franchise through the rest of his career, which was the goal when he signed a 2-year, $24.5 million extension last October. Kamara signed through 2026 and will have a decision to make prior to next season about if he wants to continue playing. Now, even though he is under contract through 2026, players and agents and staff like to get deals done before that season starts, before their last season starts. I wouldn't be worried. I'm not the kind of guy that's like worrying about, getting under contract. I mean, you're still under contract through the 2026 season. It says through 2026. So it's fine. Like, you're fine. You can play out that whole season and then worry about re-signing if you want. And I think it all depends on whether Kamara wants to come back. I think he'll be 32 years old at that point, and he may just call it a career. I think he would have been played. If he plays through 2026, that'll be 9 or 10 seasons in the NFL. It'll be 10 seasons that he's played through the NFL. And for a running back, that's a great career. 10 years as a starter. Well, like 8 as a starter, but 10 full years. And just the numbers that this guy's put up, nobody would look at him and be like, oh, we're ashamed that you retired. You had so much left in the tank. He'd probably be like ready to do it. Just, I mean, you guys tell me your thoughts on Alvin Kamara and the trade rumors. Who are the teams that you think are actually calling for Alvin Kamara? Who are the teams that you think need a running back right now? I can guarantee one of those teams is the Chargers. I think the Chargers have probably called to just see if they can get any kind of recognition. Like, hey, you know, Omarion Hampton is down. We lost Najee Harris. We realize that Kamara is 30 years old, but we need depth right now. You guys need help, and we need help. Let's see if we can get something done. I guarantee the Chargers are a team that have looked at that. Just the way Najee Harris was utilized in Pittsburgh, and then probably the plans they had to use in Los Angeles. Alvin Kamara fits that. He's a fiddle that can be played in Los Angeles. He's a downhill runner, evasive, quick, elusive. He also catches the ball out of the backfield better than any running back in the game. Aside of maybe Christian McCaffrey, I mean, like, there's not many running backs as good as Alvin Kamara in catching the ball. He's been so good. So I guarantee the Chargers are one of those teams, but you guys tell me thoughts on who else you think have called trying to trade for him, and who are the other veterans on the Saints that you guys think have been called about. This report doesn't say anything about the other players. It does say, though, several veterans have been the focus of teams. Several veterans. So who are the other guys you think have been trying to, or who have been called about, inquired about? Tell me your thoughts down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Much love. Make sure you guys follow me on all my social platforms. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Smash that like button. If you enjoyed something I said, let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know. I will reply to everything, and let's have a debate in the comments. See you guys. Much love.